manager of the college, Reverend Father Thomas Chakramakil, the director of the self-financing programs, Dr. Pius, the coordinator of the multimedia programs, Ms. Sandra, the resource persons of this national webinar, the participants of this national webinar, and other faculty members of the Department of Multimedia. I'm extremely happy to note that the Department of Multimedia of St. Aloysius College is organizing a national webinar on photojournalism. For a multimedia student, photojournalism is a very important topic which provides a number of job opportunities and career avenues. I'm happy to note that the department has chosen a mix of academicians and practitioners as the resource persons. The academicians will provide the theoretical and other conceptual frameworks, whereas the practitioners, basically who are from reputed newspapers of India, can provide the much needed practical tips. I'm sure the participants of this program will benefit immensely with this judicious mix of theory and practice. I wish all the very best for this program, and I'm happy to be with you for this program. I thank the Department of Multimedia for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Respected Principal of the College, Dr. Chaco Jose, Head of the Department of Multimedia, Ms. Sandra Francis, Resource Persons of the Day, Dr. Radhika Khanna, Department of Electronic Media and Mass Communication, Pondicherry University, Mr. Deshigan Krishnan, Photo Editor, The Hindu, and faculties of the department, Mr. Biju Keti and Ms. Vaishnavi Sagar, and dear participants of the webinar. Most of us probably understand that photography is all about capturing and preserving memories. And apparently, that is why most of us go as photographers. And that's probably the popularity of the subject of today's webinar. I wouldn't be far off the truth if I say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Further still, photography, I believe, is the story we failed to put into words. So, if picture makes you laugh, if it makes you cry, if it rips out your heart, it is a good picture. Photographs make an emotional intervention in the mind of the viewers universally. Hence, photography is the only language that can be understood anywhere in the world. You fill up a frame with feelings, energy, discovery, and risk, and leave room enough for someone else to get in there. Consequently, photographs disturb readers. But that is exactly as it should be. The impact of photographs can be at very many different levels. For instance, you can look at a picture for a week, but never think of it again. You can also look at a picture for a second and think of it all your life. So, I wouldn't be wrong if I say, you don't take a photograph, you make it. You create it. Photography is an art of observation. It has little to do with things you see and everything to do with the way you see them. Now, photojournalism is neither photography nor journalism. Photojournalism has become a hybrid enterprise of amateurs and professionals, along with surveillance cameras, Google Street Views, and other sources. What is underrepresented are those meta photographers who make sense of the billions of images being made and can provide context and authenticate them. That is why photojournalism is often more powerful than written journalism. I think photojournalism is a documentary photography with a purpose. Photojournalism is one such form of photography that apart from capturing memories, it enhances communication and greatly conveys messages. Of course, you might already know this, but what most people don't know is that photojournalism is not only a form of photography but a creative way to tell a story. It is because of this art that writers or journalists' words gain more strength and weightage. If you are interested in experiencing the reality of the world and make the world to understand the news by presenting an image, you are standing on the right path and the right ground to move on. In order to become a photojournalist, you have to be able to convey the emotions present in it. If this is your passion, you can start or get started with this webinar. You would require a number of technical skill sets to become a photojournalist, like DSLR photography, videography, Photoshop, video editing tools like Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, website design, digital imaging photography, visual communication, freelance photography, and so on. And these are besides other skills like basic knowledge of political and social topics, amazing photography skills, interest in current events, a talent for recognizing interesting stories, ability to understand the mood of the moment, ability to present facts clearly through pictures, and also you ought to be comfortable and calm around people. Of course, you need to have innate talents as well in order to be successful photojournalists, like a keen and an observant eye, an intelligent, curious, and perceptive mind, creativity, eye for detail, along with ability to work under pressure. There is a huge scope for photojournalism in almost every communication media, such as newspaper, television, magazines, etc. There are also different career options for photojournalists like documentary filmmaker, web designer, graphic artist, multimedia journalist, freelance photojournalist, newspaper photographer, magazine photographer, and so on. So I wish you make the best use of the webinar and learn from these masters. Let this webinar be an eye-opener to future careers. Thank you for the patient listening. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. We can start the session. Ma'am, can you please enable your video? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was in a meeting. I'm very sorry for the delay. Yeah, we'll start.
Okay, ma'am. So once again, a very good afternoon, one and all. It's my privilege to welcome all to this virtual seminar on photojournalism. And this will be a very useful and informative session. It's guaranteed. And to all the participants, students and faculties from the Department of Multimedia, St. Aloysius College, Elthurut, Thrissur, Kerala, we gladly invite you all. And first of all, let me thank God Almighty for creating this wonderful opportunity to meet our very magnificent guest and to follow her, and we are eagerly waiting to hear you, ma'am. And let me invite our manager, Reverend Father Thomas Chakramakil, to this wonderful event. Next, our beloved principal, Dr. Chaco Jose, and our supporter, motivator, and encourager, our dear director, Dr. Pius. And the sunshine of the day, the magnificent Dr. Radhika ma'am, to this wonderful event. So all the participants, we can check a video with your permission, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, share the screen.
Okay, so far it's no. So it seems that for all the participants here, photojournalism is a new subject, right? Is what I understand. But are you all students of communication? Are you students of or multimedia, or are you from outside the communication? If you are are you students of communication? Can somebody tell me, like, yes, just put in the chat. If you're not studying communication, what are you studying? Which stream do you come from? Are you from history, English, sociology? I just need to know a little bit so that I know multimedia. Okay, fine. So multimedia means production that you're doing basically. Are you doing photography? Have you learned photography? Okay. Journalism and mass
No, ma'am.
communication.
In photo,
Yeah, please
in
go on. Please
multimedia
tell me.
photography, ma'am, in multimedia photography, videography, video editing, journalism,
Okay.
all this comes under multimedia.
Okay, Haripriya. So have you done photography till now, Haripriya, or no?
Yes, ma'am. For second year,
Okay.
we have studied photography theory and some practicals due to
Fine, fine. So basically, then I understand that most of you have an idea of, what is photography or how to take photographs. But now you are going to be listening to what is photojournalism, right? That's what I understand. So you are multimedia students, but who have a basic knowledge of media, but not exactly about photojournalism. All right, great. Thank you so much, because with this background, then I know what depth I need to go into and how much to enter. I've just put a message at any time. If you have any questions for me, which you would want me to answer, you can please put them on the chat. Just if any question that you really want to ask, and because it's only 1 hour and we don't have much time, so you can put your question on the chat. I can have a look at it and I can help to answer that. All right. So let's start. Now, you have learned photography and you're a student of multimedia. Now, photojournalism is a field where you're going to apply all that you have learned in your studies, being a student of multimedia communication, to telling stories through photographs. Now, this is separate and different from creative photography, where you can take any picture that you like because you like it or because you want to convey something. But in photojournalism, it's a combination of photography and journalism, which means that we are telling stories through our photographs. Now, the first and foremost thing to be a photojournalist is that you need to have an interest in that field. If you don't have an interest in the field of photojournalism, then you will not become a photojournalist, period. And if you have an interest to be a photojournalist, along with that, you also need certain qualities to be a photojournalist. And these qualities are what you need to develop. And without developing these qualities, you cannot be a photojournalist. I have put these qualities for you on the chat so that it's easy for you to even read as I speak along. These are a couple of qualities that I think one needs as a person. And if you don't have these qualities or the majority of these, then photojournalism is not a field that is meant for you. But if you have these qualities in you, then yes, you can be a photojournalist. So quickly, I'm going to run through this. What is the first quality to be a photojournalist? You need to have a passion for photography. Unless you like to do photography, why would you become a photojournalist? So this is a checklist for each one of you. I think about 42 of you are here right now in this webinar. And for the 42 of you who have joined in, each one of you, you need to keep, on your mobile or on a piece of paper, you need to keep ticking off that, how many of these are good for me. I mean, yes, I want to do this. And, I don't want to do this. There's no right and wrong. It's a choice. It's a personal choice. So, one, do you have a passion for photography? If yes, then we go to the next thing. If you have passion for photography, then you need to develop your knowledge and skill in photography, which means having a mastery of the craft, knowing your camera, and also knowing and learning how to compose photographs. Because there is no right and wrong. It's a creative field, but the composition that you make should be able to communicate and engage and connect to your readers and viewers. The third thing is that you should be willing to learn from the work of predecessors. Now, what does that mean? You're a generation which has been born with the internet, with you at all times. 24 hours a day, you have access to the internet on your mobile, at least. And if you really want to search for something, you can go to a browser like Google and search and find it. Not like the older days when we had to go to libraries and look for books, and books were expensive and they were not there. But now with the internet, you can find the best of material that's available throughout the world, just which is a click away for you. So you should have the interest and the inclination to learn from the work of others, other photographers, other photojournalists who have spent an entire lifetime doing good photography or contributing to the world or the practice of photojournalism, and it's all available free, absolutely free online. You must be willing to spend some time, see their work, and that work, when you see, will inspire you and will help you to develop and master your own skills, your own craft. And you will have, as time goes by, more and more understanding on how to take photographs that can contribute to the field of photojournalism. And it's very important that not only do we know photography, we are also interested in telling stories through our photographs. So being a storyteller, that's a quality we need to have in us if we want to be photojournalists. And to be a storyteller, we need to be curious. We should be interested to look around us and see, okay, where is the story? Okay, there's something happening in my locality. There is, not enough. There's not enough. What do you say? There are not enough schools for our area, or the women who are living in this area, they don't have access to safe drinking water. I mean, what is the story you're looking for? Are you curious? Are you looking around? Are you listening? Are you paying attention so that the stories then can be told through photographs also? So curiosity is a quality you need. Creative and critical thinking. Creativity is needed for anything in life, including cooking. Even when you're cooking food, if you're creative, your food can turn out better. When you're talking to people, if you're creative, your conversations can be better. And critical thinking means that you are basically thinking, you are questioning, you are analyzing, you're not accepting things as they are, because critical thinking is a very important concept that helps you to understand the world around you and interpret it. Then communication skills, because we're talking about communication and we're talking about visual communication. So some amount of mastery over communication is needed, and here, as Dr. Piyush just said, you need to be able to communicate through the visual form. So visual communication skills are important. Compassion or empathy. Now, what does that mean? Compassion or empathy means being able to feel for other people, to care for other people, to connect with other people. When we can connect with other people, their problems, their pain, their difficulties, their issues, then through that compassion or that empathy, we will be able to create photographs that tell their stories. You also need to have the skill of observation, an eye for detail. You should pay attention to what is happening in front of your eyes. You should even listen carefully on what's happening around you. You must pay attention to detail so that you can get something interesting in your frame when you take a photograph. Flexibility. You should have flexibility. You should not be rigid that I will only work like this. I will only work 9 to 5 p.m. I will not work on a Saturday or a Sunday. I will not go here. I will not do this. If you are very rigid and you're not open, then you cannot become a photojournalist. To be a photojournalist, in your personality, there should be the option of being flexible when the situation demands from you. And this is linked to the next one of being open-minded. You should be open to new experiences, which comes with flexibility. Being self-disciplined, because many photojournalists don't have any bosses. They don't have somebody on their head telling, now go take a photograph, now do this, now don't do this. You yourself are your own boss. You decide, yes, I think I should go in the morning and something is happening here. I must go find out if I can get a photograph. I think this is a good story here. And, I need to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because this starts at 6. Or I need to reach here at this time. So I need to plan my day in a certain manner. All of this is self-discipline, that you are taking responsibility for your work and not that somebody will tell you what you have to do. That's very important. Then presence of mind, that you should be able to think on your toes. You should be able to think on that, what is it that is required of you? What is it that needs to be done? Which is basically nothing else but common sense. And often, we joke and we say that common sense is not very common. Okay. But if you have common sense and presence of mind, which means being alert and knowing what the situation requires and then doing it, that's presence of mind. And being alert and anticipation means to be able to anticipate. For example, if you are a sports photographer and you're taking a photograph of a cricketer who is, is going to just, make a stroke with his bat, and you can anticipate that the way he's lifting the bat, this is going to be a sixer or whatever. Then you're ready with your camera. So when he does that, you click in advance, a few seconds in advance, and don't lose the moment. So anticipation is about not losing the moment, which is so important in photography. And photography is all about getting the moment on your camera, getting that thing that is happening in front of your eyes recorded and captured through your camera. Your camera could be the camera on your mobile, on your smartphone, or your camera could be on a more advanced, DSLR, digital single lens reflex camera, or a mirror, less camera. It doesn't matter which camera you use. What is most important is you are the person who is shooting. You are the person who has to decide that, what I want to shoot, why I want to shoot, what is the story I want to tell through my pictures, and what are the qualities that I need to get the pictures that I want. There was something very nice that Dr. Piyush said, and it was really beautiful, and I want to draw your attention to it. He said, don't take pictures, but he told you that make pictures. Now, this one character changing from T to M, from taking pictures to making pictures, makes all the difference. When you're taking pictures, then you are just clicking pictures. But when you are making pictures, you are creating pictures. Now, do you want to just click a picture? Taka, 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 taka. Man on the beach eating ice cream, child playing with mother in the water, grandmother, combing the grandchild's hair. Do you simply want to take a picture? Do you simply want to click it? Or you want to make a picture, which means you want to tell a story in the picture that this grandmother really loves the granddaughter, or this man is really, really, really fond of ice cream. So you have an idea, you have a theme, you have a story you want to tell, and then you will go and stand in such a way, you will take such an angle that composition that you will create, you'll be making a picture which will be your photograph, which will be different from the photograph that I will take if you and I are at the same place. I will stand at a different place, choose another angle. You will stand at another place and choose another angle, because you and I are two different human beings. Your picture will be different from my picture. But have you thought about what picture you want to take? Why do you want to take it? Where will you be standing in relation to the subject? Will it be a portrait? Will it be a mid shot? Will it be a wide angle shot? Will you take it from a low angle? Will you take it from an eye level? Will you take it from top angle? Will it be a wide angle shot? Will you have shallow depth of field? Will you have, good depth of field? All these technical and creative decisions that you will take have to be taken instantly. Instantly. You don't spend time thinking 5 minutes. Oh, what should I do? Instantly, you look at something and you decide, I will make this picture. I will make this picture. That means you will think of how to take it. I just not take it, tuck, 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 mindlessly. So most important is be mindful, be creative, and all these qualities, the reason I put them on the chat was that even you can copy them and just put it onto your email or mobile or Word document. Keep these qualities, in front of you. and think about it after the webinar. Tomorrow, Desikan Krishnan sir is going to speak to you. Day after, S.R. Raghunathan is going to speak to you. Both these professionals are very dear friends, and they have also given interviews and lessons in the photojournalism course that is online, which I am teaching right now. They are all there as faculty in that course. So, you will have a lot of knowledge coming in these 3 days, a lot, and the best. Then you have to decide if photojournalism is a field that is according to your personality, your interest, your liking, your qualities. If yes, wonderful, start. And if not, doesn't matter. Think about whatever you have learned in these 3 days and try to become a better photographer. Even if you don't become a photojournalist, you can become a very good photographer. Even wedding photographs that you take of somebody can be very good. Even if you're traveling to some place and you're taking photographs of that hill station or beach or whatever, they can be very good, provided you understand the basics of photography and photojournalism. Okay, so I would just like to ask before we go on that whatever I've shared with you, which is not much, I would just like to know that, is it clear till now? If it is, put a Y. If it is not, put a N. I would be happy to see 42 Ys. Each and every one of you, if you are there in the webinar, please keep I can't see your faces because everybody's camera is off. I only see my face and nobody else's face. But at least on the chat, if I see some sign, it's helpful to me. I get to know that people are there, they're listening, and they're interested, even if it's only for an hour. Great. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Lovely. Okay. So I've put this, I have prepared for the class. I've made the structure of the class. I've prepared clips to show you. So in advance, I have put down these words so you can follow me easily. Even if your internet speed is bad and the video is not running, you should be able to follow the course of the lesson, of the webinar. So we're going to have a look at an interview. Mr. Dinesh Krishnan is the visual editor for The Hindu, Chennai. He works with S.R. Raghunathan. S.R. Raghunathan is the deputy photo editor for The Hindu, and Dinesh Krishnan is the photo editor for The Hindu. And he looks at all the photographers all over India who work for The Hindu. He's the person. He looks at all the photo operations of The Hindu across the country. I have selected a portion of the interview that I conducted with him for the massive open online course on photojournalism. It's a short clip, and I'm going to play this. This little clip, which I'm going to share with Dinesh Krishnan, I want all of you to be active. So the moment the clip finishes, I ask each one of you to write on the chat in one line that what was the clip about? What did you learn from the clip? This is not going to be a passive one-way communication where I will speak and you will sleep. So it has to be, I am thinking and you also have to be thinking. Because if you're not thinking, then you're in the wrong place. Then you should go and leave this webinar just now and sleep nicely with no stupid voice troubling your peace of mind. So if you want peace of mind, leave the webinar. If you need knowledge, you need to respond to me. If I don't get 42 responses, I don't continue with the webinar. I stop. All right. So I'm very clear. I mean business. I make an effort and I want you to respond only for the webinar. After that, it's your choice. And I'm going to be sharing with you 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. Mr. Dinesh Krishnan, Mr. Gurinder Osan, Mr. Prashant Panjia, Mr. Raghurai. Out of hundreds of hours of video interviews that I've taken over 4 years of photojournalists from all over the country, I've selected just 4 small clips as an curtain raiser or as a peek into the minds of great photojournalists, and how through their words and the experiences you can learn a little bit. All right. So is everybody ready? If you're ready, put a Y and a quick Y. I should see a tsunami of Ys on the chat box. Yes, that's great. It should be a tsunami. A quick Y. Lovely. Excellent. And I'm going to cue while I see these great Ys coming in. Remember, Y is not only a Y, it's also a Y. WHY. Why are we learning? Why are we wasting 1 hour of our life on a webinar with a woman from Pondicherry University? Why? Think why. Why are you doing this in your life? Why did you choose to become a student of multimedia? Why? It's a very important question. It will determine the quality of your life. All right. Now, give me a moment. I'm going to just go and share the tab. So we will see this little clip. And remember, watch it carefully, listen to it carefully. The moment the clip finishes, I want you to write just one line on the chat, that my takeaway, what did I get from this clip? What did you learn from the clip? Whatever. Don't worry. It can be, even if your English is not, you're not very comfortable in English, just write a few words that I see this, I learned this. Few words is enough. I just want to see that, you are active in the webinar. All right. Thank you. So let's go. I'm going to share. Okay, a tab. Okay, first I will show you an image and then I will show you the interview. It's important that I show you the image so you know what the interview is about. Okay, so I'll share an image. Have a look. Now, do you see this image on your screen? All of you, you see this child on the lying on the.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So okay. So don't turn backs on refugees. Alan Kurdi's aunt pleads. This child, his name is Alan Kurdi. Okay, and he was a Syrian child, and he died. And the story, the photojournalist will tell you that's what the interview is all about. But he'll be talking about this picture. So just look at this picture, and this is the picture that he will talk about in the little clip that I have to share with you. All right. So now I'll share the video clip, and this clip is about Alan Kurdi. No, I know. Okay, so then 1 second. Okay, no. Do you hear the audio? Once. Just 1 second.
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to mute my audio, otherwise there'll be an echo, and then I'll play. And just tell me that you hear the audio the moment it plays. I'm just muting my audio. Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, ma'am.
1 second. Actually my computer has just changed today, and they're just blocking the screen. It's a new computer I just got a little while ago. The lesson 1, share. It's here. I'm just okay.
So we can conclude that.
Is the audio there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then I just mute myself. Let me mute myself.
That photojournalism is an activity which is a combination of both the capacity to record moments of time through visuals, but with a news sense, that we have a sense of news and we can record it as a testimony through our cameras, a digital camera or a mobile camera. It doesn't matter which camera we use. What matters is the way we see the moment and record it so that others can access an event or an happening where they were physically not there, but because of the photojournalist's presence at that moment, the world could see that image.
So I just want to kind of leave you all with one memory, one thought. Go back to your room tonight and look at the picture of Aidan Kurdi. The picture of this boy who was washed ashore during the Syrian war. Look at that picture and think what that picture did. That picture changed the way Europe looked at the waves of immigrants coming into the continent. That one picture changed everything. That's the power of the camera. That guy didn't change anything. The photographer didn't change anything, mind you. He just sat there. It is his response, the person that he was, is how he was able to respond to that moment. He saw this boy watch the show, dead. He took the picture. You know? There is so much of meditation in that picture. It's that person who reacted to it, you know? He didn't go close and take a picture of it. No, he didn't do that. It's too far and short. That's the power of camera. It has aesthetics. It has a human story. It has a grand story. 2 or 3 days after that picture appeared, the world over, it went crazy. You know what viral is? That's viral. It went crazy. It made the governments in Europe sit up and say, you know what, we should do something about this. That's how powerful this medium is. Think about it.
We have seen how photojournalists plays such an important role in documenting events, giving us evidence of facts, helping to get and garner support for humanitarian causes, and the various kinds of
Okay. So this was the short clip. Quickly, let's have some responses. What did you get from here before we move on? Yeah, so this was the short clip, a very short clip on Dinesh telling us about Aaron Kurdi's image. Let's have your responses quickly, and then we'll move on. Okay, good Haripriya. Okay, Pranav, struggle good. Johnson. Okay, good Johnson. Good Utsav. Good Vaishnavi. Okay, Aishwarya. But what problems are faced by photojournalists, Aishwarya? What was the problem? Can you mention? What problem was faced by the photojournalist? Good Evans. Yes, Ujjwal, very good. Very good, Vaishnav. Good, Joanne. Yes, Adarsh, you are right, what you said. Andrelina, that's a good observation. Okay, good, Menville. Those of you who still want to share, please do. But because you have less time online with me, we are not really having a proper workshop or a session. Because of lack of time, the ones who want to mention and share, please go ahead. But now I will move on to the next part of the webinar. And here we're going to now listen to Mr. Gurinder Rosan. He is also a photo editor, and he's a very good friend of Mr. Dinesh Krishnan also. And he's the photo editor for the Press Trust of India, which is also called PTI. It's a wire agency, news wire agency, who gives photographs to its subscribers across the country and the world. And he heads the photo operations for the Press Trust of India in Delhi. Now, he talks about how do you prepare to be a photojournalist? If you're a photojournalist, what is it that you should take care of? So I'm just giving a clue here. Remember ABC. Now, what is this ABC that he tells us about that we must follow as photojournalists is what we will see in the next clip. Is again an interview I've conducted with him for the course that is running on SWAYAM right now. And with his, what he has to say, it will give you another idea on that how is it to be a photojournalist? What does a photojournalist need to do when he or she is on the ground covering a story? So I'll just share that with you, the clip now. Is the audio working?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Working as a news photographer for a long time, and that has taken you to many kinds of locations and news assignments, right from natural calamities to conflict zones to wars to sports. So tell us more about your preparation when you're going into a certain photojournalistic assignment, which is in the real world on a real location with real problems. How do you anticipate? How do you prepare yourself to be ready for the assignment, which could be at a short notice?
Our job takes us into various kinds of situations, scenarios, and it's very difficult to really predict what the next moment is going to be like. It may all seem very peaceful, all very normal, everyday, but how a situation may change, hopefully not deteriorate, can happen in seconds. So number one is that you have to be alert. You have to be aware of what is happening. So you're constantly going with this assumption that anything wrong can happen also, because you're out in a zone that is sort of open to possibilities. So one needs to be prepared for all possibilities if and when they do happen. That is part one, so that you are aware. That is the first part. Second part is that, God forbid it does happen. Then what is the B? Aware is A, and I'm talking about the ABC of our preparation. A is aware, and the B is the backup. If it does happen, then what are you doing? Do I have my safety walls on? Suppose people start throwing, say, stones from a rioting mob. What is my preparation in terms of protection? Do I have a helmet? Yeah. Do I have a possibility of hiding behind a building or a fence or something that can save me from the brickbats that may come my way? Am I mentally and physically both prepared for that situation? And suppose, God forbid, something does happen. Now I'm coming to the C. C is contingency. Suppose it does happen. Suppose, God forbid, I am hit, or my colleague is hit, or somebody there is hit by that oncoming brickbat. Then what do I do? As a photojournalist, my first reflex will be to shoot. Yeah, I've taken my picture, I have what I want, now what? How do I become useful to ensuring that person who is injured, or even if it is me, how do I extract myself out of that situation safely? It could be, in a war situation, it could be a sniper firing bullets. In a cricket match, it could be just a ball that landed on my head. It can happen anytime, anywhere, you never know. But it may just happen accidentally, nobody intended anything negative, but it can happen. Then what is it that I do to ensure that I am able to address that emergency? So that preparation is also, again, mentally and physically very important. So when I do step out, I am keeping these ABCs I'm very mindful of these ABCs, the awareness, the backup, and the contingency. These are all you have to figure these out very fast in your photojournalistic career.
At this
Okay. So you heard Gurinder Usan speak, and let's have a quick response on what you got from this short clip by him. The C part, I'll tell you, Utsav. Don't worry. I think somebody may tell you, or if not, then I'll tell you. So what's the A and the B? Yeah, good, Johnson. Very nice. Priyadarshini Johnson. Good, Vaishnavi. Yes, being alert. Excellent. Good, Adarsh. You can give me short and quick responses because of the limitations of this online timing, that we have less time. Very good, Ashwin. Good, Andrenilla. Can somebody mention what is the A, what is the B, and what is the C? He talks about A, B, C. So what does A stand for, and B and C? Good, Vaishnav. Good, Harishri. No, Johnson. He did not talk about aesthetics or background or content. Yes, Utsav. Good. A is awareness. Very good. And what is B and what is C? We need to be aware. Backup. Very good, Vaishnavi. B is backup. You need to be aware if you are a photojournalist to protect yourself and others. B is a backup. You have to think of all your backups so that you can save yourself in a difficult situation. And what is C? No, Aishwarya, it is not consistency. Consistency is important and it's a nice quality to have in anything we do in life, including photojournalism, but he doesn't talk of consistency. Anybody got a C? Anybody in the group? Did you get C? Okay. So to make it easy for you, these are the three ABC he talks about: awareness, backup, and contingency. So contingency means being ready, like somebody has written emergency, Pranav has written another word. Contingency is having that set of mind, that mindset that you are ready for something which is unpredictable, uncalled for. You are not expecting something to happen. But if it happens, you know what would you do. And backup is actually having a backup to fall on if something goes wrong. So this is very important. So you see, photojournalism is not only about taking photographs. It's also about taking photographs with alertness and with an awareness that what is happening around me and what is the role I have to play. And sometimes I may be in a difficult situation. I have to protect my well-being, my life. Only if I live will I take photographs or make photographs. So I must be careful even when I'm taking risks. Like somebody wrote very nicely, assessing the risks that are there and not just going into it foolishly and mindlessly. That's very important. All right, great. I have two more clips of 3 minutes each. So the organizers, can you tell me, do we have another 15 minutes or so? Because it's already 4 o'clock. I have no problems. I can continue, but please give me a heads up. Let me know. Yeah, is my audio there? Hello?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
audible, ma'am.
Yes.
I just want to ask that I was speaking before this. Could you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't know. I think I was in the presentation mode. I didn't close the tab. So sometimes my students tell me that on the presentation mode, my audio is not clear. Were you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Everything. Yes, ma'am.
So what did I say last? What was the last thoughts I presented to you? Anybody could just say.
You asked about if we could continue.
Yeah, thank you. That means you heard me. Okay. So yeah, so tell me, can we continue? Because we may need another 15 or 20 minutes. 2 clips of 3 minutes each, and then time for you to respond. Do you have that time?
Yes, ma'am, please continue.
Yeah, should I? Okay, great. So right. So now you have seen one aspect of photojournalism where we are talking about being prepared for it and not just rush into it without any sense of understanding or lack of preparation. A lot of thinking on your feet because you need to protect yourself on the field because you don't know what you may face when you are out there, right? So now the next clip that I'm going to share with you is of Mr. Prashant Panjia, who's going to tell us about the work with non-governmental organizations. Prashant Panjia is one of the most prominent photojournalists that India has had in the recent times, and he has left working with organizations and has become an independent and a freelance photographer many years ago. And before that, he was the photo editor for the Outlook magazine and for many other organizations, news organizations. Now he does his own work, but his work includes working for a lot of clients, which are NGOs, which means non-profit organizations. And I have selected a clip of work he's done on education of children. And it's a very nice clip where he talks about the work he's doing for social causes, for bringing out the problems of people. And with his photographs, then those people are getting help and funding and money and support because the world sees the photographs and sees what kind of conditions they live in, what help they require, and photography then helps to bring support to people who need it. And Prashant Panjia is not only an excellent photojournalist, he is also a very good social documentary photographer and who has done a lot of work with national and international NGOs. So let's watch this clip of his. It's about less than 3 minutes long. I'll just share this with you.
And
audio clear?
Ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I just.
there was not so much attention being paid to social issues. And at that same time, I got an opportunity to work with some of the non-profit organizations that were working in this field, basically like health, education, society, lifestyle, livelihood, etc. So for me, it was a logical kind of move from going from photojournalism into rather a continuation of what I did in photojournalism while working for nonprofits. Now, the nonprofits, since the 2000s, have been investing a lot in photography and visual documentation, not only as documentation, but because they use it for advocacy, to be able to convince more people to participate in the programs or get more funding. So, for example, a lot of photojournalists have found a way of continuing the practice with the non-profits. The non-profits have their own motives, but as a photojournalist working or as a documentary photographer working for a non-profit, I can continue doing what I need to do as a photographer, as well as serve a certain purpose in society. So I'll give you one example. I've done a lot of work with the American India Foundation, which has worked on a program called LAMP. It's called LAMP because it's Learning Amidst Migration, which is a program an education program for children of distress seasonal migration. Now, seasonal migration is where entire families move for part of the year to another location to work, and they take their children with them. So, and that whether it is in a salt pan or in sugarcane cutting or in a brick kiln, it's almost 6 months that they will spend there. And then they go back to the village. But the children miss out on the education because when they go back, they may join the village school, but they're way behind. So the American India Foundation started a program an education program, first providing bridge education to these children, and then seasonal hostels where they could be kept back in the village and taught. So this is a program that I've worked on a lot. I mean, I photograph a lot. I've been able to produce 2 books for them based on that program. And based on that program, what they've done and the reporting of that, many states approached the American India Foundation and started their own programs of trying to keep back the children of distressed seasonal migrants and give them a proper education. So it's had a great effect. HIV is another example. All the work, photography and visual work, advocacy work that has been done in HIV in India has helped curb a pandemic in India. And there
Okay. So Prashant Panjar is a very, very, very passionate, and he really loves his work. He's very passionate about photography, and he loves teaching photography. And he keeps sharing about, what are the possibilities that you can do if you are a sensitive, compassionate, and thinking photographer. So let's hear from whoever wants to on the chat. What did you get from this little clip? And then I have one more clip after this. Social commitment, yes. Vaishnavi, good. Good, Vutsa. Good, Haripriya. Good, Atul. Yeah, it shows the social side of photography, how our photography can be used for some social causes. Many times we do photography just simply to show something that is happening, which is good enough. It's not a problem. But can our pictures make a difference to somebody's life? Can we document something through our photographs? Can a photograph capture a moment as it is and share it with other people who don't know about it and bring out the essence of that moment? Very nice, Johnson. Johnson writes, if you're sensible and compassionate, social and documentary photography can be your biggest scope. Yes, you're absolutely right, Johnson. Very good, Andrinina, Pranav, Hamna. Good responses. Very good, Vaishnav. That's what Prashant really says. He says that social problems are left unnoticed, and we must pay attention to it, because most of our newspapers, they will tell you and show you pictures of politicians, film stars, cricketers, and mostly politicians, lot to do with politicians. But where are we really seeing the stories of ordinary people, common people, and their lives, which also should be a part of our commitment in telling stories through our media. You all are multimedia students, right? Even I teach digital media production here in Pondicherry University to EMMRC communication students. And I tell them that when you're doing digital media production, you can take photography, you can take podcast, you can take video production, you can take public service announcements or short public interest films. No matter which multimedia you use, what is important is, what are you using it for? Why are you using it for? The big why. Why are you doing something? Why are you into multimedia? Why is multimedia being used to tell something or not tell something? If you don't think about it, then you will not be a creator. You will be a technician. You'll just be somebody who knows how to move a piece of equipment. But you will not be a director or a producer or a creator or a communicator who can formulate an idea, who can express an idea, who can communicate an idea, who can connect an idea. All right? And let's see what else has come. Adarsh, passion to work more and being the voice of many. Adarsh, if you are inspired by hearing Prashant Pandya, I request you and all the others who are interested to join the course, the free online course on SWAYAM. Please check with your faculty. They will be able to share the link with you. And you can hear the full interview, half an hour interview that Prashant has given, the entire lesson. He and all the others, they have shared the entire lifetime of learning for the benefit of anybody who wants to learn. So it's great, you hear 25 different people and then it opens up your own thinking. So very nice. And now to conclude, I'm going to show you a clip from a very powerful person. Powerful not in terms of name, fame, money, but powerful in terms of his contribution to the world of photography and photojournalism. So my question to you is, I want to answer here. Just 1 second, I'm just putting it in.
Ma'am, could I ask you something?
Please do go ahead. I would love to have a question. Ask me, dear.
Ma'am, for the SWAYAM course, is there any number of seats in specific?
No, it can go up to 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. But in our country, people will go crazy to watch Hindi movies or popular movies. But I have about 2,100 students have joined my course till now. I have 2,100, but there are courses on SWAYAM where there are 30,000 students have also joined. So there's no limit, because as you can see, I've shared these videos with you. So I'm creating these video lessons and I'm uploading them on SWAYAM. So the work that I'm putting in is crazy. Like, I haven't gone home for 3 days. I've been living out of my office, day and night editing. And so I create the content and I publish on SWAYAM, and then you can see the video when you want, whenever, morning, afternoon, evening, today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So you have a lot of options to learn at your own pace. But I, as a course developer, I have to release the course in a systematic manner. And since these are video lessons and materials created online, it doesn't matter how many people join in. I mean, everybody is welcome.
So what about any practical exercises that you may be making us do? Any?
It'll be very simple ones, Hamna, because the 2,100 people who've joined me, I see some people from Jammu, Shillong, Mizoram, also some people from Europe, Canada, and some people from South America. I have a few international learners as well. So I don't know their level of how much they know photography, how much they can do, how much serious they are about this course. So I'm going to give very simple exercises to do, to play around, but essentially I'm giving very good content, which I took 5 years to meet all the photographers, request them for interviews, take their interviews, meet them, go to Chennai, go to Delhi, go wherever they are, and put it all together into a 50 video lessons format running over 15 weeks. So the thing is, you will have some practical exercises, but you can do a lot more on your own, being inspired by all of them. And this course is the starting point for you to think about how you can use visual communication to tell your stories. And you can choose what you like. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much for this opportunity as well. Means a lot to us.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome. I don't know how many of you have joined, but you're welcome. So my next question to you is, have I posted it? So if you know, say Y. If you don't know, say N. Do you know about Raghu Rai? Have you ever heard this name? Have you seen his work? If you have, put Y. If you haven't, put an N. Then depending on your answer, I'll give you the information. Okay, so it's interesting that he's the master Padma Shri. Yes, you're right, Johnson. He's got the Padma Shri in 1972. And most of you don't know about him. So quickly, just let me give you, I just released his video yesterday on Swayam. And because he's such a great master, I wanted to give his videos to Swayam learners on Teachers' Day. And yesterday was Teachers' Day. So we released his videos yesterday, and he's an amazing person, amazing human being, and a very great photographer. Let me just tell you quickly a little bit about him so you know who he is. Then you'll enjoy the little clip of 3 minutes that I'll share with you. So basically, Raghu Rai was born in 1942, and he took up photography in 1965 when he was only 23 years old. How old are all of you? Can you give me your ages? Just put the year.
20, ma'am.
Just on the chat, just put 19, 20, 21. Let's see. I want to see what are your ages. How old are you? Okay, 19, 21, 20. Okay, somebody's only 2 years old. Vaishnavi, there's a typo, error. So, yeah, 25. Thanks. So most of you are from 19 to 25, right? What about the others? I should have a tsunami of ages now. All the ages of all the 43 people here. I would like to know, how old are you? The youngest in your batch is 19 and the oldest appears to be 25. But I don't think all of you put your ages here. Some of you are not telling us. Your choice, not a problem. So you see, you are from the age of 19 to 25. Raghu Rai started his career in photojournalism at the age of 23. So he was as young as most of you when he started his career at the age of 23 as the chief photographer of a very prestigious newspaper in India called The Statesman, which is coming out of now called Kolkata. Earlier it was called Calcutta. So he started his career as the chief photographer of The Statesman at the age of 23. And he received the Padma Shri Award in 1972 for his work on Bangladeshi refugees. And then he joined Magnum Photos Agency, which was started and co-founded by Henri Cartier-Bresson. If you don't know who these names are, you can Google and find out more about them. Or if you join the course, you'll learn everything, obviously. And his coverage of the Bhopal gas tragedy, which is a terrible gas tragedy, a chemical gas tragedy that India faced in 1984 December, is amazing. I mean, it opened what happened in Bhopal. He reached there when the Bhopal gas tragedy happened. He did not take, he did not, think about his health or that he could face any problems. He reached there and he documented it, and his work is amazing on that. And in 2019, when I interviewed him in November, and I went to Delhi to interview him, just a few days before, he received, he was honored by the first ever Academy Awards, Academy of Arts Photography Award. And it actually happened on the 6th of September 2019. And today is the 6th of September 2021. So exactly 2 years ago, he was given a very big international photography award, which is a lifetime achievement award, which is given to any single photographer of any country from over the world for the contribution they have made to the field of photography. It's not photojournalism, it's an award in photography. And he got 120,000 euros for it. And in the Swam interview that he does, he talks about all of this, how he joined Magnum, how he got the Padma Shri, how he got this award for 120,000 euros. He tells very interesting stories that how he got all of this. So I was editing this in the morning or yesterday, and I thought that this clip would be a beautiful way to end our session this afternoon. All right. So I'm going to share this short clip of 3 minutes. He speaks both in Hindi and English, but I've subtitled it in English, and so you can follow it. Even if you don't know Hindi, the subtitles are in English. I'm just going to share this last 3 minutes video. He, like I said, he's a great, great photographer, one of the best in the world. And when you listen to him, have that sort of understanding of who you are listening to. He's just not a photographer. He's one of the ones who are respected internationally by the entire world, and he comes from India. All right. And he's a very humble person, very accessible and a loving person, really amazing human being. Okay. Now I have to look for the link because let me see if this is the link. Okay. Do you see the video? Can you see Raghurai on your screens?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you hear him? Audio is clear? Audio is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Echo, ma'am.
Okay. No, echo, because I'm going to mute myself. I'll just mute. I wanted to do an audio test. I'm just muting myself. Just hold on.
हमारे हिंदुस्तान का एक बहुत बढ़िया एक्सप्रेशन है दर्शन पाना, है ना? कि कहते हैं जी आपके दर्शन कब होंगे? आप भगवान को भी यही सोचते हैं कि उसके दर्शन कब होंगे. तो फोटोग्राफी मीन्स सीइंग, and the ability to see things in its entirety is दर्शन. तो वो जो दर्शन पाने की अभिलाषा है, उसकी परसूट में, और ये अनकॉन्शियसली हुआ, ये तो अब मैं बात कर सकता हूँ ना आपके साथ, पर हुआ ये अनकॉन्शियसली कि एक अभिलाषा जो दिल में जागी और जो चिंगारी बन के सुलगती रही, होता रहा, बढ़ता गया. और मैं आपको ये बता दूं कि 55 साल हो गए मुझे करते हुए, लेकिन एक तो डिवाइन एनर्जीज जो है और डिवाइन ब्लेसिंग से, ब्लेसिंग्स बड़ी ज़रूरी हैं बच्चों के लिए. ये बच्चों को नहीं भूलना चाहिए. आजकल के बच्चे बड़ों को भी ऐसे रफली ट्रीट करते हैं कि हम पढ़ लिख गए, हम ये हो गए, हम वो हो गए. हमारी संस्कृति में ब्लेसिंग्स जो हैं बड़ों की लेना जो है ना, वो डिवाइन एनर्जी बड़ी हेल्पफुल होती है. तो एक तो डिवाइन एनर्जी से अभी मैं 80 के करीब होने वाला हूँ, बहुत दम है मेरे में अभी भी, उसकी वजह से डिवाइन एनर्जी. और दूसरा जो डिवाइन एनर्जी है, सिर्फ वही आपका इंस्टिंक्ट दर्शन का जिंदा रख सकती है। तो ये दोनों साथ साथ चलते हैं। तो फिर मैंने फोटोग्राफी में ये देखा कि मैं बड़ी मेहनत करने लगा कि अब मैं अच्छा काम करूँगा, फिर जाके सुबह से लेकर शाम तक फोटो खींचते रहना, फिर आना फिल्म प्रोसेस करनी। तो देखना यार कि कुछ इतना अच्छा तो आज नहीं बना है। क्यों नहीं बना? कि मैं मेहनत कर रहा हूँ सोच के समझ के, पर क्रिएटिविटी जो है, दर्शन जो है, वो स्पिरिट के वो होते हैं जो उस ब्लेसिंग से आते हैं। जब आप खुले दिल से रिसीव और परसीव करते हैं तो मेहनत करना एक अलग प्रोसेस है, पर उसमें मेहनत में एक खुला दिल, खुला दिमाग, खुली हवाएं आए जाएं और आपको समझाएं कि मैं यहाँ हूँ। ये पार्ट जो है बच्चों को, और कमाल की बात ये है, इसमें ना कोई गरीबी का ना अमीरी का सवाल है, ना छोटे का ना बड़े का, ना मोटे का ना पतले का। ये हवाएं जो हैं उनके लिए आती हैं जो सच्चे प्रेम भरे दिल से। देखिए, धरती जब टेंडर होती तो उसमें से बीज उगता है। तो ये ऐसी सी बातें हैं कि अंदर टेंडरनेस और गुडनेस रहना बड़ा ही कीमती एलिमेंट है। फिर चाहे आप फोटोग्राफर बने अच्छे, या राइटर बने, या आर्टिस्ट बने, कुछ भी बन सकते हैं। तो ये बात, लोग स्मार्ट बनने की कोशिश करते हैं। स्मार्टनेस टेक्स यू नोवेयर। तो लकीली मैंने जिंदगी उस लेवल पे जी है।
So basically, what I understand is जो intrinsic हमारे अंदर goodness और authenticity और एक calling and an aspiration for something good, true and beautiful, if that is guiding our life, things will fall into place.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is my last question on this clip by Raghurai. What did you get from him? Please do express and share, because that's the only way we learn from each other. Good, Johnson. Good, Utsav. Yeah, Darshan Pana. That's in Hindi, he speaks in Hindi, Darshan Pana. An aspiration or a desire to see something in its entirety, it's in its essence. Good, Andranilla, very good observation. Raghurai is talking about being a spiritual being, which means not just being ordinary, but thinking about whatever we are doing in a more deeper manner. Yes, you're right. Good, Hamna, very good. Good to know, Atul, that you like what he said. His interview is amazing. I mean, I could not delete anything because I don't want to delete anything, because every word he's saying is like a pearl from the ocean. And how can you throw away a pearl? I mean, I cannot. So his videos are a little longer than others, but amazing content. You're right, Adarsh. When I met him, he was 78 2 years ago. And the amount of energy he has and the passion with which he speaks, and he went on and on. It was nearly for 1.5 hours that I interviewed him. You're right. He's like a 20-year-old, you know. He has that spirit in him, which is alive. Good, Pranav. a few more responses and then we can wind up. I would like to have a few more responses. What about the others who've not written anything? Would you like to share something? If not on Raghurai, anything? Basically, I had only 1 hour with you. So for me, I thought, what can I do in 1 hour? People have spent 55 years of their life exploring photography. I have spent 35 years of my life learning about media, communication, journalism, filmmaking, public speaking, theater, so many things we all do when we are interested in it. But when we have to share it with others, and when the time is limited, then it's, what do you select? What do you present? What do you share? So I thought that let me open these windows to all of you, through which you can hear different aspects about photography and photojournalism. And if it kindles your interest, if it makes you interested in taking this further, then you actually need to go into it. This 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, it can be either just some entertainment or just like academic engagement, or it can be something that can really empower you and enrich the quality of your life. So if you have an interest, like I said, I started with the qualities to begin with. If you have an interest in photography, if you are curious, if you want to learn from other people's photography work, observe it, then you want to tell stories, your own stories, and you have the basic skills that you can develop. Practice makes perfect. Even if you don't have a lot, doesn't matter. Just start. If you start, we say that, a single step, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So if you want to go a long way, you have to start somewhere. And young Raghurai, at the age of 23, took a picture of a donkey that got him, it got printed in the Times, London. And there his career started. He was actually trained to be a civil engineer. But instead of turning out to be a civil engineer, he took to photography and there was no looking back. And he's right now working on his 57th book. He has 56 books on photography to his credit. And his passion, his energy is very much there. He is 80 years old, 81. He'll be 80 next year. He's born in 1942. So he'll complete 80 on December 18th, I think he's born, December 18, 1942. But he's young at heart and he's young in his openness to new experiences and never say die. So it's your attitude that matters. It's your orientation that matters, that determines how deeply and how beautifully you live your life. So I hope that I could offer something which is useful to you and which may help you in your journey as a student of multimedia. I can even share the link here, but I'm sure Sandra would share it with you. But even I could share it if I find it here. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, last questions, they're welcome. If anybody has any questions, either you can unmute yourself, or if you wish, you can, what do I say? You can put it on the chat. I'd be happy if there are some questions or comments. It would be nice. I've shared the link here with you. You can copy it and keep it. When you go to the link, there is going to be a 5 minutes introductory video. And when you go down the page for 15 weeks, what is happening in each week, I've given the themes. And today, the 5th week has begun. So 4 weeks are over. And I think 13 video lessons are up, the last one being Raghurai's. So thank you so much. And from my side, yeah, I'm through. Dusky, I can't share the links of the videos because they belong to Swayam. You have to join the course to see these videos. These are unlisted videos on YouTube, private videos, which you can see on for free if you join the course. It's a part of the course. So if you go to the course, all the videos that I'm making around 160 videos. Already, I think 48 or 45 are up. Every week, 12 to 13 videos are going up. So you'll have access to all the videos and you can see them whenever you wish. My pleasure, Haripriya. I'm happy. If it benefited you, because I know as students, many times we are forced to do things because of attendance and because the teacher tells us, and and all of that. We don't want to do it, but we have to do it. There's a young student there who's listening with his mom. Good to see him. So the thing is, we don't want to do things, but because we are students and we don't have that power to say, no, I don't want that webinar. I'm sick and tired of your webinars. So you can't say no, you have to turn up, you have to get your attendance. But I just keep trying, that something can happen. I learned a lot from a lot of people in my life, and I love to share whatever I know with whoever who wants to know. Always welcome.
Hi, ma'am. Again, it's me.
Yes, Khanna.
I'm not a big fan of typings. That's the reason I keep talking. But ma'am, I
love to hear voices. In the internet, in this COVID period, you don't see faces, you don't hear voices. So please speak, dear. I love to hear your voice. Come.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am, I will just share my before and after experience with you.
Yeah, sure.
When I registered up for this course, it was mainly because my professor told me that this course is obviously good for photojournalism.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, I'm a big fan of Dayanati Singh, photojournalist.
Okay.
What I love about her work is about how simple her work is, but it has a lot of meaning attached.
Yes. Yes.
Like in today's world, everybody's just running behind what is not realistic. They all like being in the fantasy that they create for themselves.
Yes.
But then she looks into the familial values, the architecture, abandoned space, all that. So I'm someone who's very inspired to follow a path like hers. I would once probably want to have my own pocket museum of photographs.
Lovely.
So when I first came, I just thought somebody's just going to show some pictures, ask what we observe out of it, and then we're just going to list all that. Some people are just going to keep quiet. But into the session, I saw how great everybody is just participating, and they're all very enthusiastic about it. Something that we would actually look for in every journalist, that comes up tomorrow. Because mostly today, because of all the online classes, rarely we get to see students participating.
Yes.
Ma'am, I think you are very, I can say specialized skill, because you made everyone come up and talk.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing, because we get to see so many different point of view, perspective. It's amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much for this platform.
My pleasure, Hamna. Danita's work is really wonderful. And if Danita Singh, who's also, her mother is also a great photographer, and she was inspired by her mother. And there's a film made, I don't know if you've seen the film called 3 Women in a Camera. So this film, 3 Women in a Camera, focuses on 3 photographers, Danita Singh, Shiva Chachi, and Homay Vyarawala. And the person who made the film, Professor Sabina Gaddy-Hawk, who was my teacher when I studied MA Mass Communication in 1990 at the Mass Communication Research Center at Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. So she made this film on Danita, Shiva, and Homay. And she gave me permission to use the clips of the film related to Homay in our history of photojournalism lesson in the course. And then I had the pleasure to watch this movie in which Danita very beautifully shares about her work and how she took off from her mother, and the work she's doing is very interesting. So I'm very happy, Hamna, that you are focused, that you have a sense of purpose for your own life. And I'm sure that if we know what we want, it's easier to get it because we know where to go.
Yes, ma'am.
For instance, if I know I want to go to Delhi and I go to the railway station and I say, okay, which train should I get into? No, this train, this box looks nice. No, this box doesn't look nice. No, I don't like blue. No, I like red. No, this is these coaches. I don't make a decision. I will decide what's my destination. My destination is I need to reach Delhi. So I'm going to get into a train that goes to Delhi and which doesn't take me to Calcutta. So if we know where we want to go, then we can choose the path to go there. Sooner or longer, we will reach. And we don't have to hurry. We don't have to be stressed out. We don't have to be worried. We just need to, I'll give you the name of the film. Yeah. We just need to be at it. We just need to not give up. Because too many people give up too early and too soon. And then when you stop dreaming and when you stop living to fulfill your dreams, then as Raghurai tells in this interview, I've been hearing the footage again and again, so it's all ringing in my head. He says, we live by habit. Human beings are programmed machines. We live by habit. We eat, we walk, we get ready, we go to work, we come back, and all of this, and then eventually one day we die. So do we want to have an ordinary life where we're just doing things in a mechanical, habitual manner? Or are we creating our lives where we decide what is it that we are passionate about, what we really love, and we just go for it? And I ask all of you, not only Khanna, but each one of you who's around, the 36 or 37 of you, that please follow your passion. Please find your interest. Because if you don't, it would be a wasted life. I'll be so sad. What a regret. That's the name of the film, 3 Women and a Camera. It's by Sabina Gaddyhoke. And I think the film is not available online, but some excerpts are available, small pieces. But
yeah, the film isn't available, ma'am. I think there are a lot of writings on it, I guess.
Yeah, there's available. I can try and check with Sabina because I have a copy of the film which I use for the edit. But without her permission, but I can ask her if there are some students who really like to watch the film, and I can ask her, and if she allows, then maybe one of these days we can have an online screening of the film with all of you, whoever's interested, and we can have a discussion.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Welcome. Okay, City of Photos, great. A film on photography. So did you like it, Ambujasna? Was this? Did you enjoy this this film on photography, City of Photos? We loved it. Great. Is it available on YouTube for anybody to watch? No, that's the problem. Yeah. So if it is not, then. But yeah, it doesn't matter. There are lots of there's wonderful work available online. Whatever is available, you start with that. And like I said, if you are aspiring for it, then you'll get. Like you told me about Danita Singh. So then I have a thing in my head now that, okay, I've got to see if you can watch the film. So you just have to aspire and then communicate and then connect. And then sometimes the universe responds and things happen. The magic happens. So don't worry. Okay, so should we say goodbye? Is it, are we through for today?
Okay, ma'am. It's a nice and crisp, it's a nice and crisp, a structured, disciplined session. We are really thankful that I could meet you through the online. Otherwise, we don't have an opportunity to meet you through like this. It's a virtual seminar. So we are thankful to you. So let me invite Ms. Vaishnavi Sagar, faculty at the Department of Multimedia, St. Aloysius College, for the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I prepared a vote of thanks over here, but this is coming right from my heart. Okay, from my heart. This was great. I mean, for past 2 years, we have been like online streaming, online class, but this was one of the greatest webinar I have ever participated, being a teacher and a student at the same time. So thank you, ma'am, for being like this. I mean, you were actually great. I don't know how are you doing it, but you were simply awesome. So thank you, and we would wish you would collaborate more with us in the future.
Sure, I would love to. Always well. Always.
On the behalf of Department of Multimedia, St. Aloysius College, I thank everyone, and also our principal, Dr. Chako Jose, and our manager, Father Thomas Chakramakil, and Dr. Pius sir, who they have always been inspiring for us. They always support us in all the kinds of academic activities, and also our department coordinator, Miss Sandra Francis, and our sir, Biju sir, for being the technical assistant as always, and also the students and all the participants who came over here and made it more lively. Thank you, and once again, have a pleasant evening today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. I really appreciate your very authentic and lovely and spontaneous vote of thanks. That's also nice because there's no need for formality and it's lovely. And I'm really happy that you guys are trying to do something interesting and meaningful for our students. And, that's the joy of being a teacher, when we can make a difference to somebody's life. And so I'm really happy. And I hope all of you who are here would even if you don't enjoy everything that's been given to you, try and find some level of commitment to do it to some extent so that you can explore things. Because unless you explore, you will never know the taste of something. And if you don't know the taste, you don't know if you like it or you don't like it. So before you reject something in life, taste it a little bit. If you don't like it, leave it. But do give it a try, is my request to you. And photography is something which is very, very interesting. And if you are a student in sociology or history or English or economics or molecular biology, I wouldn't be talking about all of these things to you. But since you are a student of multimedia and you will be looking at visual communication in a very, very, very vital manner, visual communication is going to be very important to you as a multimedia practitioner. Photography cannot be discounted. It's a very important way, both the still photography and cinematography, videography. So either shooting still images or moving images, if you understand all these beautiful qualities and things that, we can learn by observation, by listening, then that can really open up something beautiful for you. And Nishtha Jain is also is an amazing documentary filmmaker. I have seen many of her films. She makes very good, well-researched documentary films. I haven't seen this film of hers, but I have made a note of it, and I will check around if I can access this film. If I can, I'll get back. But I haven't seen this film, but I will look for it. And I really thank all of you, students and teachers alike, for giving me this opportunity. It was lovely. Yes, who's that?
It was available on a website first, but it's not there anymore if you look for it. City of Photos, the film.
So the point is, she must have taken it down, and most of the filmmakers are now putting their films on Vimeo.
Yes, it's on Vimeo, but it's password protected.
Yeah. So the point is, because the point is that, see, the documentary filmmakers don't really earn money. So if they make their work public, then they will not get the little money that they get from, invitations to festivals and whatever. They lose that money because then the film gets kind of, circulated. So they have reasons, documentary filmmakers have reasons to protect their work and not give it out openly because they're independent. They're working with their own funding and money. So there are good reasons why it's not available. That's, but sometimes in the film festival circuits, it happens. And sometimes there's some very, very nice film festivals. And I have a very good connection of documentary filmmakers network. I belong to an association called International Association of Women in Radio and Television. And we do an Asian Women's Film Festival every year. And through my network of documentary filmmaker friends and I will try and access and see if we can get access to this film somehow.
I follow her on Facebook, ma'am. Ma'am, can I follow you as well on any form of social media?
You can follow me on anything, but I'm not worth following because I don't have time to put anything on social media. After 10
Where do you post the most?
No, I'm just telling you, nowhere. after 10 years for the first time, or 12 years or 15 years for the first time, I posted anything on Facebook, which is about the SWAYAM course. And I was feeling very uncomfortable doing it because I never post anything on Facebook. So when people ask to be my friends, I say, what will you get out of this, being my friend? I don't post anything on Facebook because I have such a consumed lifestyle. I work 20 to 21 hours a day on an average. I sleep on an average of 2 to 3 hours a day. There's so much to do in life that I don't have time to, I switch on my WhatsApp for about 15-20 minutes every day. Your faculty, I switched on the WhatsApp just to get the link before the session. And then I switched it off. Now I switch it on tomorrow for 10 minutes and I switch it off. So I use social media only to share information that is like a lifeline for me or for somebody else. Otherwise, no time for social media for me. There's too much to do in life, so I can't fit it all. Sorry.
And you're full of life, ma'am.
That's okay, ma'am.
But you could join this course on SWAYAM. And my request to all of you is, since I'm meeting you personally, if you have friends from your school or college or in other cities or family members or people in the colony or neighbor, anybody you think who may be interested in something like what we're talking about, the content you've seen is like a sneak peek review of the course that's already up. It's free. Nobody has to spend a single rupee. You need not give the exam. You need not watch all the videos, but you must if you really want to learn. And people don't know, everything on the WhatsApp University, everything is forwarded. All rubbish is forwarded. But people are not forwarding this stuff, that there's a free course on photography where Raghurai is speaking and Prashant Panjar is speaking. That is not getting circulated, but all nonsense will come to you. This one Teacher's Day message will come to me from 5 people. One person crying and the student standing up and singing, and 10 people are sending me that happy Teacher's Day message. But so I don't know what this world is looking for. So anyway, but what I want to say at the end is my closing words. Just do your number. Just do what you have to do. That's it, and get out. What you can do it best. If people like it, it's wonderful. If people don't like it, it's also wonderful, because at least they have a reaction to, they're not indifferent to you. At least they're not ignoring you, like or dislike. But don't give up living your life, your honest life, the way you want to live it. Because it's the only life you know and the only life you'll ever have. So live it 100% as per the truth of your being. And then whatever comes your way, a step at a time, deal with it, face it, overcome it, handle it, whatever. But don't give up who you are too easily, and don't worry too much for social approval or people's appreciation or approval of what you do. If you really believe in it, just give 100%. Be sincere. And that is what somebody like Raghu Rai, not only Raghu Rai, every person whom I interviewed, there are hundreds of photographers in this country. Why did I run after 22 people day after day? I want to interview you. When can I come to Chennai? When can you come to Pondicherry? When can I come to Delhi? Why did I keep running after these people till they agreed to give me an interview? Because I knew that the value that is intrinsic in them, it's a treasure house. And if they can speak, all of them together can be made available to a younger generation, and they can learn from these great masters. Can you imagine? There'll be new Raghu Rais coming up. There'll be new Prashant Panjars coming up. This Raghu Rai will go, but there will be another Raghu Rai that will come up, maybe from amongst all of you. Or a Ragini Rai will come up. I mean, the gender doesn't matter. It could be a girl, it could be a boy. But one of you could be somebody very promising in the future. And that's why I started that Raghu Rai was only 23. And he was also he's a self-taught photographer. His brother taught him, S. Paul. He was a civil engineer. He studied being an engineer, but turned out to be a photographer. So follow your dream, follow your passion.
Have you heard of Saurabh Hura, ma'am?
Sorry, come again?
Saurabh Hura. Saurabh Hura. He's like one of the 2 magnum photographers from India.
Okay. No, I haven't.
His work is amazing as well.
I will definitely, thanks for sharing, Anbujasana. I will definitely browse and and discover, his work. I always love to get to know new people and new work. Thank you for sharing. Maybe you can put it on the chat for your friends as well. So if they're interested, they can also browse. Just put his name on the chat. So others who are interested in your group, they can also follow and see his work. I haven't seen Sodab's work. Okay, great going. Very lovely. We stretched it. It's 4:50. We took a 1 hour extra. And I was just told when I started the session that one of my colleagues has tested positive for COVID. So they are shutting down the department. Fumigation is going to start any minute now. And we can't come back on campus for 2 days. But luckily, nobody's thrown me out and I could be here. So great. The universe is with us. Thank you so much. All the best. Lots of love and good luck. Take care.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Take care. Have a nice day, all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Enjoy tomorrow and day after session also with Mr. Desikan Krishnan and
Jagannath, sir.
Bye-bye.
Of course, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.